I like this one way better than the first one, but I still didn't really like it. This one was entertaining, fun, and it's pretty rewatchable, but there's a lot of things I don't like about it. Like the whole cop thing taking up like the entire plot. Like, oh, you killed my brother, so I'm gonna torture you and kill you and get revenge. The whole revenge plan didn't even really make sense to me. Because, Spaulding was barely in the first one. It was in the opening scene. Then, he showed up for a little bit with the main characters. Disappeared for half the movie. Got questioned by a sheriff. Disappeared for like 20 minutes. And then he was at the end driving the car with the final girl that ends up getting killed by Dr. Satan. Which I'm assuming that's who it is, because I don't think they ever said a name. Anyway, he wasn't even really connected to his brother's death, but for some reason he wanted big revenge on him. And Otis and Baby were present during it, but they didn't really do anything. So I don't really know why he's torturing them. And then, the person that actually killed his brother is the first one he kills. And it's kind of just quick. Like, you're gonna torture these people that are connected to it, but then just give the person that actually killed your brother a quick death? That makes no sense at all. There's also a few uncomfortable scenes in this that really weren't necessary. And then, what else? I like Charlie, but it kind of just felt like a plot device, and when he died, it didn't even really matter. None of the characters really mentioned him after his death. Of course, there was only like 5 minutes left in the movie, but still. He just gets axed to death, sacrificing himself for Baby. Because he came back for them. He sold them out, but I think it was just, unlike most people, I don't think it was just like him, backing out of it and feeling bad about it. I think it was his whole plan all along to go back for him. And his sacrifice just feels like it doesn't really mean anything. Tiny is mentioned in the first one, and they're like, I guess he's not in this shootout because he left last night. And they decide that Tiny's not gonna be in this movie until there's 16 minutes left. Like, seriously? And then, speaking of characters that were important but weren't mentioned, he wasn't the most important, but he was in like the entire movie. Grandpa from the first movie died not too long after filming, and he's not mentioned once in this, even though he's a part of this crazy family. And you would think that instead of that one scene where the sheriff's brother is torturing them, he just says random people they've killed, new victims, not even ones from like the first movie, and then he staples pictures of them to their chest. You would think he would like do something with his brother or the other cop that was killed in the first movie, or the people that they killed in this movie, but they just add two random people. But I did enjoy this movie. It just wasn't the best. And fun fact, this movie's way older than 2K18, but a song from 2K18 is in this when they first meet Charlie, and they go into a club. I think that's what it is. A 2K18 song plays. And I know that because 2K18 was the first WWE game I ever played. And I didn't change it to, my favorite wrestlers and wrestlers I like theme songs. So for like months, I just had it as the music. So I have a little bit of nostalgia for the music, so I recognized it after a little bit. But that's just a fun fact. But yeah, it's a decent movie. It's not really connected to the first one besides, the whole his brother dying, which takes up the entire movie. But it's not a huge deal. Besides that, it doesn't even really feel connected. They have the same names and stuff. They're the same crazy people. But it doesn't really feel connected. You could probably just skip the first one and watch this one if you wanted. I really didn't like the first one. There was plenty of more stuff I didn't like about it that I could have talked about. But I just didn't even really want to talk more about it because it was just pretty awful in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it for this one. Honestly, if you want to watch House of a Thousand Corpses, which is the first one, you can, but you don't really need to because this one's good. I didn't like the first one.